Howdy folks, Nathan Adlin here with the Fast Lane Car. You must be watching TFL now because that's the only place you can find Ask Nathan. Thank you for joining me. Hey, real quickly, this is the 2017 Volkswagen Passat, and you will be seeing a video on this vehicle, this one versus one of its older brethren. So stay tuned for that, it's out there. All right, let's get right to it with questions. Yes, I'm going to be using my phone again. It's just a lot easier than having to go through paper, you know, that's what I do. Okay, let's get right to it. TFL, when you had the Chevy Colorado GMC Canyon, what were your thoughts on the size of the back seat? This guy, whose name is Garrett, wants to know if large people can fit in the back seat. He currently has a half-ton Chevy Silverado, and what he's curious about is whether or not he's going to be losing a lot of rear seat space if he decides to get one of those. Now, the bottom line is yes, you are going to lose space. I do not fit comfortably back of those trucks, either one, the Chevy, I mean, they're the same, the Chevy and the GMC, but my little ones fit just fine. So for those of you guys who are anxious for having a lot of backseat room, what I suggest is you look into something that has a better back seat, such as, stay tuned for this, the Honda Ridgeline. I know, you guys just don't like that being called a truck, but it has really good back seats and really good backseat room, so keep that in mind, okay? All right, moving on. Okay, now here's one from a guy named Keith Ho, and Keith asks, why doesn't TFL talk about reliability? Okay, really simple, Keith. We only get these cars usually for about a week. Now during that time, we can put on them around 500 miles if we're lucky. Sometimes we put a little bit more on there once we get approval. And every blue moon will have a vehicle for more than a week. But for the most part, we don't have these cars for a long enough period of time to give you an educated response as to what the reliability is. Now, if we have a car and the engine blows up while we're driving it, okay, you know, we'd report that. But for the most part, we can't do that because these cars are in our possession for such a small amount of time. Should they bring fast trucks back? And this comes from Inedible 2. That's your name. Inedible? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Inedible. Yes, I think it'd be cool. Now, for a while there, trucks that were fast and had hot engines, just rear drive ones, or things like the Chevrolet Silverado SS and the Ford Lightning, those trucks were awesome for certain people because, yeah, it was a lot of fun driving in a straight line very fast. But there were a couple issues. For one, insurance rates went through the roof on those things. I mean, think about it. All that horsepower, nothing in the back, really easy to spin and flip. And there's actually some videos on YouTube with people flying all over the place with those trucks. Two, they didn't sell very well because they were a lot more expensive, and they didn't tow very well in most cases. So they really took a lot of what was good about a truck and removed it and gave you a little bit more sport for the money. So would they come back? Well, maybe. I mean, they kind of sort of tried a little bit. There was something that Ford put together, and it didn't really do that well in terms of sales, and it was just like a trim package. So they've kind of thought about it, and they pushed on the market, but the market never opened their arms and said, yes, we want more of these. So if you guys truly want fast trucks, you got to write your automaker. You got to make your desire known. Okay? Next question. Here we go. There's a guy whose name is No Fat Chick 1. Hey, Nathan. He drove the Acura ILX and a Mazda 3, and he wants to know which one he should select between. Well, they're really different cars. I happen to really like that Acura ILX. I enjoyed it. Unfortunately, they no longer make a manual version of it. Mazda 3 they do, and the Mazda 3 with the 2.5 and the manual transmission is one of the best cars in its class. So basically, if you want more sport and fun, Mazda. You want a little bit more luxury and a little bit higher snoot value, Acura. Just that simple. This comes from, from John Sotomayor. Sorry about that pronunciation. And he wants to know whether or not we're going to be doing full tests with vehicles in the snow with snow tires. That would be great. I would love to do that. We do not have the budget to do that. Unfortunately, being able to take snow tires and put them on all the different cars that we test would be incredibly expensive. Now, hopefully we'll be able to find a sponsor in the future who will be able to give us those tires so we can put them on the cars and do some sort of special shootout just for you guys. It would be great. I'd love to put it on truck and car. So yes, we want to do it. No, we can't do it right now. Okay? Thank you guys so much for joining me. Don't forget, write your comments down below, send them to TFL. There's a column every Sunday on TFLcar.com where we do written questions that you guys bring up, and of course this video every week. Thanks again for joining me. I'll see you next time.